Hey, Christina. We need to talk. Jennifer? What happened? Was there an issue or something? Oh, there absolutely is an issue. How long are you going to keep me waiting? Wait, what are you talking about? Do you need someone to pick you up tonight or something? Ugh, it seems like you really don't get it, huh? When are you going to have a child, for God's sake? Not this again. How many times do I have to tell you, Jennifer? A life choice like that is my personal choice. I'm sorry, but whether I have a child or not is none of your business. I thought you said you respected my choice 2 years back when you first brought it up. I know we had our difference, but you said I was free to live my life however I wanted. Yes, but that was 2 years ago. I've been waiting all of that time, trying to see if you'd have a change of mind, and nothing. Why did you even get married in the first place, then? I don't have to live the life you want me to live. That's all there is to it. No, I need you to have a child. How else will our family name continue on? Do you think babies grow on trees? Is that all you care about? Our family business will die if you don't have a kid. Even you understand that. Even if I was to have a child, it'll entirely be their choice to choose a career they want to pursue. I understand that your family's legacy may be important to you, but please don't go pushing your own values onto others. Listen to yourself. Do you realize how selfish you're being? All you young ones want to do these days is have fun and enjoy your own lives without thinking about future generations. It's disgusting. Even my son ended up being a disgrace to the family by choosing to work for some low-end tech company instead of working for our winery. If I'd known that this was going to happen, then I wouldn't have taken the time to raise a failure like this. I will not allow another generation to follow his footsteps and choose to live a self-centered life like that. So you better give birth to a reliable child. You understand? I've told you before, my body is incapable of having a baby. I got tested 6 years ago, remember? The doctor told me that there wasn't anything specifically wrong with my body by any means, but it was more to do with stress and too much work. That's why I told you to stop bringing up things to do with childbirth, so I didn't have to feel pressured going forward. Wait a second. You're not trying to say I'm guilty, are you? Everything I've said is reasonable. If you don't put in the work, then our family business will be done for. I'm not saying you're the root of all of this stress or anything. But you have to understand that I get gradual stress the more I hear about these sorts of topics. You kids are so soft. No wonder you haven't been able to give birth yet. If your body can't even handle a few words here and there. You're an absolute failure of a wife. Hold on a second. A woman will always think of their own children first and foremost. That's just how it is. They have to be strong-willed down to the core and prepared to take on any issues that come up in bringing a child into this world. I never complained about having a kid, did I? So how can you, a young, energetic woman, be this much of a failure compared to all of your peers? How can you say something like that to me? Everyone is different, okay? This generation of kids would never understand the hardships that we all had to endure back when I was young. You can't just go into a marriage on a whim without thinking about the future. I'm not even surprised you can't get pregnant. Why can't you be more optimistic about life and be like everyone else? You're the only one I know in your age range that still hasn't had a kid. Look, I gave it my all and there was nothing I could do about it. So you're just going to have to deal with it. You're just going to postpone having a kid forever, aren't you? I'm not going to live forever, you know. That's why I have to keep reminding you to try for a baby, even if it might seem annoying. Otherwise, you're never going to go through with it. What was the point of you marrying my son anyways? Jennifer, please just leave me alone for a while. I'm sorry, but you're not helping one bit. In fact, you're making me want to have a baby less the more you talk about it. I can't believe my son had to marry a spoiled brat like you. You know what? I'm done. I shouldn't have wasted those 6 years expecting you to do something about your situation. I will absolutely be consulting Harry about this, and doing whatever is in my power to end this marriage. Then again, I'm sure he's dying to get with a new partner at this point. I mean, you definitely don't look as good as you did when you first got married. I know a few girls in their 20s that I'm sure my son wouldn't complain about marrying. Do whatever you need to do to satisfy yourself. Look, I'm done talking about this, so I'm going to go now. I was just about to have a nap too, so I'd greatly appreciate it if you stopped disturbing me. A nap? You're an energetic young woman. I'd understand if you were my age, but... And what's with that attitude to me, God, you really are a terrible woman, aren't you? I'm glad we could finally resolve this so I don't have to deal with you anymore. You will never see Harry ever again. Do you understand? You better start packing your things. Sure. I can confidently say I will not be missing you. Ugh! I'll make you regret all of this. Hey, Christina! Want to go out for dinner tonight? Oh, sorry, Hannah. I'm not really in the mood for that right now. I really appreciate the invitation, though. Did something happen? Just dealing with my husband's mom. I'm just taking a break from everything right now. I'm sure I'll be okay to go out later this week. OMG! Are you sure you're okay? God, I remember. Your mother-in-law is that crazy lady who's so obsessed with the way you live, right? What did she say this time? You're free to tell me any of your problems. I'm all ears. Are you sure? I don't want to take time out of your busy schedule. Oh, don't be silly. I'm sure you need someone to listen in on your troubles. I really appreciate that. You've been through a lot. It's no wonder you sometimes need some time off. Feel free to share whatever you want with me. Though, of course, you don't need to speak about anything if you don't want to either. I'm always here for you. Thank you so much. I suppose I'll just start strong. My mother-in-law said she wanted to make Harry and I get divorced so he could marry another woman. How vile! Who does she think she is? She also mentioned how she thought Harry would prefer someone a little younger. And that way she'd be able to have a grandchild, no problems. You know the story I told you about her wanting her family business to continue on or whatever, right? Ugh! She seriously thinks she can just say whatever she wants to, doesn't she? Women aren't just tools for men to have babies with. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And besides, don't worry about your age, Christina. I'm 45 for God's sake, and you know I had a baby at 41. You're still young. You can do whatever you'd like with your life. But again, having a child is a personal choice. I'll fully support you if you don't want to go through with it either. Thanks. I'm glad I have you by my side. It's just really frustrating. She went on saying that I was a failure as a wife since I couldn't give birth to a kid. This woman really needs a reality check. How old-fashioned is her mentality? It really disgusts me how she thinks she's in the center of the world. I mean, I understand to an extent where she's coming from, especially when a family business is on the line. But that isn't your responsibility at all. Don't take the blame for something like that. I also heard that she used to live in a very poor household when she was growing up. I'd imagine it wasn't easy at times. But then her whole life changed when she got married. She devoted her whole life to helping out with her husband's business. So I totally understand that it means a lot to them as a family and all. I suppose that'd make sense why she's so passionate about it. But there's still no reason for her to snap at you of all people. I'm sure her life has been nothing but hard work and perseverance. So I totally understand why she'd view me as a failure that is going to make all of her hard work go to waste. I don't agree with her trying to live my life, but I suppose I'd be stressed out too if I was in her shoes. And growing up in poverty must have been tough too. She'd know the importance of money more than most of us, myself included. Maybe she just wants the next generations after her to live better lives than she did. When Harry and I got married, he decided he wanted to pursue his dream career and move into the city together, working in a tech company. Which I was in full support of, since I truly believe we should all pursue dreams and work toward personal goals. And besides, we were doing well for ourselves out in the city, so I didn't see a problem in any of this. But I suppose she just sees this as her son leaving their family business to rot and fade away. I can tell that you're being very lenient and understanding about her life, but I definitely can't say the same about your mother-in-law. Doesn't she understand that you have your own life you want to live? Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a very long time at this point. And yet I don't entirely know what I should be doing. Meanwhile, she keeps harassing me by sending photos of babies in the extended family, expecting me to follow soon after. She even once bought a bunch of baby stuff in order to pressure me into trying to have a child so that none of it went to waste. She might have good intentions, like you say, but she's going about it horribly. It doesn't matter what you've gone through in the past. You can't treat others like they're your personal work slaves. Yeah, I wish she treated me with more respect for starters. And it'd be great if the harassment stopped. I mean, that was another one of the reasons we wanted to move away to the city. Just to enjoy life without her input every 2 seconds. But she ended up still constantly harassing me online through texts. How bored can you be to harass your own daughter-in-law for 2 years straight? I know, right? Well, what do you think you're going to do moving forward? See, it's hard because I know about her past and all that she's gone through. I don't have the courage to just tell her straight up that I want to cut all ties with her and live with Harry. But if this keeps up, I don't know if my mental state can last much longer, I'm afraid. I think you just need a break from it all. Just try and cut her out of your life for the time being, and relax as much as you can. And you let me know whenever she harasses you again, okay? I'm always here to listen to anything you want to talk about. I don't deserve you, Hannah. Thank you. I don't want to hear that. You listened to all of my problems I had in the past, remember? I'm just returning the favor. Anyways, we should get lunch or something one of these days when you're feeling a little better. Sounds like a plan. Again, I can't thank you enough for listening to me complain about all of that. I feel a lot better now. Oh, and I should bring my son along too. I know you get along with him. Sure. God, you're awful, Christina. Don't you have any morals? You lied to me for 3 years. No, it was nearly 4 years, wasn't it? This again? You're going to tell me to try for another baby, aren't you? Besides, what do you mean when you say I lied to you? I told you straight up that I couldn't give birth. I didn't hide anything from you. Stop with the lies! You just look more and more pitiful. But don't worry, I've already taken care of everything. You can't find your son anywhere, can you? Well, that would be because he's with me. Oh, just imagining your panicked face puts a grin on my face. So don't bother looking for him. And don't worry about it. I'll take good care of him. I'm sorry to tell you, but I have no idea what you're on about. Is this another one of your harassment attempts? If so, I'm not falling for it. You were hiding the fact that you had a child from me all of this time, weren't you? But don't worry, I learned everything. And I saw him up at the park. He's with me now, so don't worry about a thing. I hate to break this to you, but I'm actually pregnant right now. I don't know where you heard the story about that kid of mine, but the only kid I have is the one in my stomach. Wait, what are you talking about? If you want me to apologize about the fact that I didn't tell you about my pregnancy, then I will. But whoever you have with you right now isn't my child. Look, I didn't open up about my pregnancy to you because I knew you'd start harassing me again to force my child into eventually taking over your business. And I had enough stresses in life already. Speaking with you about such sensitive topics would have just added more problems to my mental health. But like I said, I have no idea who you're with right now. Wait, you're pregnant? Oh, I see. This must be your first kid, then. Good. If you have 2 children, then there will be more support for the business in the future. Besides, you can't lie to me. I saw you playing with this child the other day at the park. Oh, right. Wow, you really had no better ways to pass the time than to stalk me. But to answer your question, that boy was the neighbor's kid that I was looking after that one day. I'm surprised you thought I had a strong enough body to give birth when you keep talking about how weak I am all the time. You're telling me this kid isn't yours? No, this can't be. Sorry, I didn't even know his name until the other day. You're lying. You're telling me I took home a child that wasn't even my grandson. I'm telling you that you kidnapped a child that isn't your grandson because you rushed to conclusions. Who can you blame but yourself in this situation? I should try and get that resolved before the police get involved. You don't want to end up on the news for kidnapping, after all. I sure hope his parents don't find out either. Billy's dad is a rich man from what I heard. Wait, no! This was just a simple misunderstanding. I was only acting out for the good of the future of my business. I didn't kidnap any kid. Well, I'd return Billy to the park as soon as you can in that case. Right, of course. In fact, we're in the car right now. I'm driving him back to the park as we speak. OMG, what should I do? Christina, are you there? Billy's asleep now and won't get out of the car. I can't just carry him out and place him on the ground. Then that'd actually look like a kidnapping. Oh, and he's awfully tempered too, kicking and punching whenever I try to wake him up. What should I do? I can't keep him in my car all day long. I don't have enough strength to carry him out either. Ugh, Christina, come here at once. You're partially responsible for this just as much as I am. How am I responsible for this? I was being a kind-hearted neighbor and looked after their son one afternoon. But you just happened to misunderstand and think that was my own child I'd hid away from you all of this time. It's because you seem to look so motherly around this kid. Why are you even a natural at being around children when you haven't even had a kid yourself? Anyways, deal with this, Christina. You know this kid better than I do. I'll see what I can do then. You've really made things complicated just because you wanted to harass me once again. I really don't have any obligation to help you, but fine. Quit your yapping and get over here. Oh, wait. I just got a text from my neighbor Hannah. She's panicking that Billy has gone missing. Well, what are you waiting for? Tell her that everything has been sorted and that you have him. Oh, sorry. I told her that a woman had him in the park right now. But don't worry, she'll be over there in no time. You'll be able to talk it out with her then, right? Though she might call the police on you depending on the circumstances. What are you doing? Just say that I'm your mother-in-law, for God's sake. Don't make things more complicated. Are you trying to put me in jail? Well, I'm sorry, but I just told my neighbor where her child was. That's all I did. Besides, it's not really up to me what happens to you when you went around doing something so rash like that. Look, I really do hope this gets sorted out just as much as you do, but there's only so much I can do. You were the one that went up to a child in the park and took him away. I didn't force you to do anything. No, there's no way. I'm not going to go to jail, am I? Well, you did commit a crime after all. Kidnapping is no laughing matter. Oh, and look at that! I just got a text from my neighbor saying she'd called the police. Wait a second. You have to listen to me. You know better than anyone that this was all a big misunderstanding. That's right. We can just share this conversation with the police. That'd push aside any misunderstandings, I'm sure. I simply thought that I saw my grandson in the park and decided to look after him. There. No crimes committed. Ah, the insanity defense? It might work, considering you don't have any grandchildren yet. But then again, in either case, that's still blatant kidnapping in broad daylight. I don't think these messages are going to help you. Wait a minute. You were basically gloating about having snatched him. You definitely didn't have permission from anyone to take him. You do realize that it still counts as kidnapping even if it's within the family. A grandmother can illegally take away their grandson. Wait, there's no way that's true. Look, it doesn't matter if this child is mine or someone else's. You've committed a crime and you'll be held perfectly responsible for everything you've done. Wait, you can't. What if I go to jail? What will I do with the family business? Who'll take over while I'm locked up? It'll end up just getting shut down. Kirk will never forgive me if that were to happen. You have to understand. Well, I'm sure he wouldn't be too happy about you kidnapping a child either. I think you're done for either way. This boy is your friend's son, for God's sake. Please, you have to do something and talk to his mom about what has happened. Look, there's only so much I can do. You understand that, right? I'm not responsible for every action that you take. This is now in police hands, after all. Why aren't you helping me out? You would have done the same if you were in my shoes. Now that's hard to believe. And again, this all happened because of you. You're responsible for this misunderstanding, so you better own up and fix up this mistake of yours. Go on. Send her a message saying I'm innocent. I didn't do anything wrong at all. Look, Billy is fine too. There's not a scratch on him. So I haven't broken any laws. See? Everything is resolved. And if push comes to shove, I'll just hire a lawyer. I have enough money for the greatest in the country. I'll be proven innocent in no time. Look, I'm glad you're all fired up about your master plan or whatever. But I don't know if even getting the best lawyer in the country would work either, if I'm being honest. What are you on about? Are you saying you don't believe me to be the rich type? Oh no, it's nothing like that, but... My neighbor Hannah's family is very well off. Her husband is a CEO of a global corporation. Why are you telling me this? I just mean, they can hire a pretty good lawyer as well. They have a 10-year gap in their marriage, but they're happily married. And they would make anyone that hurts their only son in any way regret it for sure. Not everything can be solved with money in this world, sadly. Why didn't you tell me that this kid was the child of someone so important? Why do you always make things difficult by not opening up and telling me the important details, huh? Then you're saying I'll end up being the enemy of a massive global corporation. I'm afraid it's probably too late. I mean, her husband already knows the evil criminal who took away their son is you, after all. I'm sure your business only has a few days until it's gone. No, this is a family legacy passed down through generations. I can't just let it all end like this. Well, maybe next time don't go around kidnapping children in the playground. Oh, sorry. There really isn't a next time, is there? Ugh, why do I have to deal with this? You did the crime, so you do the time. There's no simpler way to sum it up. There's no running from your problems in this situation. Seems like I can finally get some real rest and deliver my baby without any problems. What do you mean? Well, if your company goes down the drain, we won't need to worry about guilting our kids into working there, will we? Now, take responsibility like the adult you are. Afterwards, the police came to and confronted Jennifer about the crime she committed. She, of course, got arrested for kidnapping, just like everyone expected. And with that, me and my husband never heard from her ever again. Perhaps she felt ashamed about the things she had done, or just knew that there was no use bugging us when her company had gone bankrupt. A fitting end for someone who was corrupted by pure greed and thought finances were more important than family bonds. And to add insult to injury, her face and name were revealed all across the country due to her kidnapping attempt, ruining any potential opportunities for employment. It's kind of ironic that her dogged pursuit of a family heir to inherit the company led to the downfall of the business and her future. I'm not sure how she'll end up building up a retirement fund at this rate. Meanwhile, my husband and I are enjoying a relaxing time in the city, where I've taken maternity leave in order to deliver the baby. I think we'll just take it easy for the next few years, not over-planning the child's future. I could really use a break after those years of harassment.